the Commission, apart from issuing these guidelines, cannot further intervene.
Thank you. That was clearer than before, but there's something we can do next. Mr. Zaleski, please.
President, first of all, be that local court wherever, in Italy, Poland, Sweden, or Old Bailey, the renowned court, one thing is basic. The language discrimination is totally outrageous. The mother, the father, schizophrenic, alcoholic, minister or MEP of this parliament must have a right to speak to his or her child in his or her own language. Now I am saying as psychologist. I am professor in psychology and have some experience in this matter. Second thing, I see the powerlessness of Commission in these cases, because what do we have to do with the courts? But one thing we probably act. When I hear from the first case that social worker dares to say to your mother that your mother will not love you, on what basis? Who is this social worker? Something stupid. This is schizophrenia, more than the mother. So, and then the other thing which is crucial in European Union, maybe Commission can do something, because what I hear that these, or somebody, maybe I missed it, but it was said that the judge will not act against social service, and I think that there is something into it. Both.
I have evidence. Yeah.
Let me say, both judges and social workers are institutions within a country. Surely they will support each other. So the petitioner is weaker. And I think that here a Commission should do something about it, at least make them aware of the fact who is the power. They cannot influence, but if we don't do anything, it will go like this. The another thing is, I think, very dangerous, this labeling. Who is, who or who was alcoholics or whatever, a thief. I remember a very good study in America, so run by good psychologists, department in particular in Texas, would appear that the judges in America, where law is law, after all, beyond or overall, they tend to label the Chicanos, or those who escaped from Mexico to the United States, the parents, mostly in these kind of cases, they are more often they are psychotically deranged or something, that they are sick, than the white ones. So there is something like racial attitudes, be that England, be that Germany, be that whatever, Malta. Can we do some Commission? Can we do some basic propaganda, but something positive, to make people aware what is the institution and what is the child, what is the mother, and so on? Because there are some they are not meeting. Everybody goes by his own line. Who is more power, he decides. And the welfare of child is completely lost. This is my attitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Danoka, please.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just to be brief, I am very happy that today we are hearing these cases, which are, I guess, very, very urgent, and we see very similar approach used by UK authorities, which is breaking the independence of judicial and authorities, executional power, and that's the main problem. If we will see further in the Dutch case, we are looking today this petition the second time, the same we see in another member state. So that's what we have to care, and that's a breach of European law, independence of different branches of power, of judicial power and then the executive power. And here, Commission as a legislator, I guess, is failing on interpretation of existing European law, not speaking about amending it. we discussed this non-discrimination directive to have, as legislator, a horizontal directive covering more cases and covering more scope of application, but we are still here without it. But still we have this racial equality directive, which by my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a mathematician, but the Commission is interpreting too narrow. Speaking about this child social aspects, we know that racial equality directive is covering social aspects, and not saying that it doesn't cover just child protection. I guess it is too narrow approach. And further, of course, you have to using these particular cases, using this opportunity to see into what is the failure of European law, to come with new proposals to this amendment of equality, racial equality directive, or to table and to push over this horizontal directive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Danoga. Mr. Landsbergis, please.
Thank you, Madam. I want to say some words on the case of Mrs. Amprosaite, but also is the case about her daughter as well. She is also a human being. The case arises both questions: how to base so long-standing punishment of a child, and it is about European formalism in such a sensitive issues, formalism and growing anti-Europeanism in so many countries. Despite the rights of children, too often are separated practically and legally from human rights, thus even downgraded. I want to raise the question from the very child's human rights side. Mother was punished painfully after being stated guilty due to her dependency on alcohol. When her girl was taken away by UK authorities and put under foster care into a new environment, becoming alienated culturally and emotionally from previous natural for her environment. It cannot be a life sentence, neither to mother nor for child. The times passed, and there are no more indications that Mrs. Ambrosaitis stays an alcohol user. There are medical evidences to prove it, and it can be made if needed. When the court, probably dictated by almighty social work structures, I would not suspect that some persons, they could be interested or have a material interest to give childs for those families or couples who don't have children. It would be a crime, of course. But this almighty power of social work and workers, concrete workers, dictating the courts is something unbelievable. So when the court decides to ignore the situation when mother is not anymore alcohol user, and it was promised for her at the beginning, both mother and child stay punished without any end. So when the child is not permitted to join her mother, even to speak in a native language, and to join her mother sufficiently long time cleaned from suspicion about the use of alcohol. From where and on what human basis goes this unbased anymore punishment of child forcibly separated from her mother as well as from cultural and religious environment? Why the child is guilty? It is out of any reasons. It is a bedlam. Excuse me. Thank you.
Not